Moving on now to Temple and head coach Matt Rhule. The Owls open Saturday against Penn State. Game will be at Lincoln Financial Field, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time start on ESPN. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call today. Can you take a minute to tell us how your preseason has gone and what you can expect to see from your side as you open Saturday against Penn State, please?
Yes, thank you. We feel like we've had a really good preseason. Our kids have worked hard. We have a veteran group. We have a lot of young talent that's come in we're hopeful that can help us at different times. And I feel like we've really developed and grown as a team. So we're excited now to get to the next phase, begin with start the season, play a really talented, well-coached team in Penn State. It'll be obviously a tremendous test for us. Great opportunity for us to see where we stand and have a chance to go compete versus a team that, we know their players, we know their coaches, we have a lot of respect for. So it should be a great opportunity for us, for our fans, hopefully for the state of Pennsylvania and the city of Philadelphia to, have a great college football game. So we're excited and excited to get to Saturday.
Any questions for Coach Rhule, please? Star 1 on your telephone to join the queue, then the operator will introduce you.
And we'll take our first question from John DeCarlo from owlscoop.com.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Hey, John, what's up?
Not much. Hey, I know you guys said that you were going to handle this past Saturday as kind of maybe like a scrimmage for some of the younger guys to kind of just find out, who was going to kind of fill out your depth chart heading into this week. Can you talk about just some of the guys that maybe flashed on Saturday, showed you something, and maybe kind of solidified in your eyes that they're going to be playing in the first week?
Well, I think the three young tailbacks are all going to help us in some way, and they've all had their ups and downs in terms of holding on to the football, and they might not all carry the football, but Raquel Armstead, Jagger Gardner, and T.J. Simmons have all shown us that they're going to be really good players, and so they've kind of solidified a chance to be in the mix, be it on special teams or in certain roles. I think the same can be said for on defense, Chappelle Russell, and probably Delvon Randall at safety. So. We're happy with the whole group of young guys. Some guys are a little bit further away, but I'd say those guys really kind of stepped up and said, "Hey, I'm definitely not in that red shirt category. I'm gonna play and play right away."
When you look at your offensive line, do you have 5 guys that are going to be out there on Saturday? Or are you still kind of looking at shoring up a couple of spots?
No, we're gonna. Is our 2 deep out? Oh, we're gonna start with Dion, Shabazz, Kyle, Brian Carter, and Leon Johnson, and Jalen Robinson and Eric Lofton. Both were banged up. Eric started for us all last year. They'll both play a considerable amount. So Brendan McGowan's been banged up. If he's healthy, he'll play. So we'd like to play, 6, 7, 8 offensive linemen, depending on, the health of different guys. But we'll start with that first group.
Armstead's name, you mentioned him earlier. His name, not that you didn't talk about TJ and Gardner, but Armstead's name just kept coming up all during the preseason. What did he do in your eyes to just really, just play as well as he did and pick things up as quickly as he did?
He makes yards. He's tough. He's physical. We're still trying, as I tell him. He's got to act grown. He's got to be ready for the moment. He can't act like a freshman off the field. He can't act like a freshman in the meetings. He can't be silly, and that's hard for any 17, 18-year-old kid gets to college, and we're asking him to act like a 22-year-old. But that's what he has to do. So he's got a lot of talent. He's been able to stay healthy for the most part. He's extremely fast. So while early on he might not be running the football, he might just be playing on special teams. We think he's going to have a really, really, really large role as the year moves on.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Sure.
And from the Allentown Morning Call, we have Mark Wagenrich. Please go ahead, sir.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate your time. I wanted to ask you about a couple of local guys. One, Rob Dvorak. How has he, impressed you in his move now from playing to kind of student assistant coach? And then Nick Sharga. Where did he get that, what prompted you to give him that number change in order to recognize his toughness, I guess?
Well, I'll start with Rob, and absolutely tragic that his career ended the way it did. Really, really a talented player. And really last year when he was helping us out as he was trying to come back, was a tremendous coach. And as I told him, I don't do anything for anybody because I feel bad. I asked him to stick around, and when he's done, I'm going to keep him around as a graduate assistant, not because I feel bad because he got hurt, but because he's going to be a fantastic coach. He's extremely intelligent. We vote for the single digits, which, the toughest guys on the team. We also kind of vote on some other things like, hey, guy I would call if I needed something from or I could count on. And he's overwhelming the guys on our team voted for. Say, if I ever need something, Rod Dvorak's the first guy I call. So he's a guy in my mind I'm hoping I can stick around long enough as the head coach to hire someday because he's that talented. Nick Sharga, since the minute he's walked on this campus, has just been tough. He doesn't say a word. I mean, he does everything he asks at a high level. He's unbelievably physical. And that, I didn't pick him. The team voted for him. And when you have a guy that's never played a snap for Temple and the team votes for him to be in that number, I think it speaks a lot about who he is. So he'll play a lot of different roles. He'll do a lot of different things for us. But he is a really, really old school, tough, hard-nosed kid that we're happy to have.
Where is he projected now in your defense?
He's playing backup middle linebacker, and he'll help us out a little bit on special teams, and even on the goal line he might go in and play fullback for us or something like that. I mean, he can do a lot of different things. So, but he's a backup middle linebacker, and he'll like I said, he'll play on all the special teams.
Great, thanks, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And next we have Dan Tortora from Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. Please go ahead, sir.
Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
Hey, Dan.
Just to go off of the preseason, some of your biggest takeaways. I know you went into a few things there, but on the offensive side of the ball, maybe some of the guys that have really stepped up from last season to where you're at right now.
I would say the biggest one would be Ramon DeLoach. He's always been a guy that we felt like had a lot of talent, and he's always been a good red zone threat for us, but never been a play in and play out guy, and he's really stepped up into that role. Jihad Thomas is a guy that's really made a huge step for us. On the offensive line, Leon Johnson, I think, has made a huge step for us. And, some of these guys, they still have 2-3 years left in eligibility. I mean, we're not talking about guys who are seniors. So I would say those three guys, though, have been the biggest surprises for me for camp.
And from when you came into Temple to where you are right now, changing the environment, creating a winning environment, and trying to, excel at the things that you want to do with you and your staff, how do you feel the environment is today as opposed to what it was the first day that you walked in?
Well, everything's a work in progress, right? And I think, I always want to give credit to Steve. I think he had a good environment. I just think a lot of kids were really, really young. We had lost a lot of seniors, a lot of kids that had won a lot of games. And so it was just sort of taking a group of kids that didn't know what they didn't know, right, and trying to lead them to here. And I just think our team is really led by the players right now and the older guys. I mean, we have a lot of accountability. I got upset today at some of our conditioning, and I started running gassers, and I got Matakevich and those guys ripping me for putting my hands on my hips, and so it's a good mix of toughness, accountability, and we have a little bit of fun. So I'm really pleased with this team. I really like this football team.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Sir.
And we'll take Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector. Please go ahead.
Hey, Coach. These kind of matchups are big for the conference. A lot is made of American versus a team of the caliber of Penn State. I'm sure you're not too concerned about that from the league, but, I mean, if potentially you play well and potentially win, I mean, would that be important for not only your program but also kind of a signature win for the American Conference as well?
Yeah, and I think our league, anytime we have a chance to go up against other leagues, so-called Power 5 leagues, I think it's a great opportunity for us to, show what we can do and win a lot of those games. And I know our league will win a lot of those games this year. I'm really confident in the caliber of teams, caliber of players, that are here. I know for our program, obviously, Penn State being so close, it would be, it would be a signature win for the people that are around here. For us inside this building, it'd be a great win, and we'd move on to a conference game that means the world to us, right? But but it'd be a heck of a start.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And we'll take Dick Wise from the American Conference.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
How are you? Good to see you. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, no problem, Matt. Listen, Philadelphia's always had a reputation as an Eagles town, but this year you have two non-conference games that really will resonate with the local population. How important is that for this program to just further establish themselves as a Division I team in the city and a team that people should come out and watch?
Well, after watching the Eagles and Sam Bradford the other night, they should watch us and just wait for the playoffs because We're going to the Super Bowl after seeing the way we looked on offense the other night. So just watch. Everyone should cheer for us instead. But no. I think it's great for people to have a chance to see just what this can be. I mean, I think the game day atmosphere at the Link over the last couple of years has just really improved to the point where it's a big time operation right now. We walk, we do a fly in. There's people tailgating the stadium when the Eagles allow us to. The stadium is decorated. The stadium's painted. I mean, it looks awesome. There's just so much Temple pride, and to know that there's 1 in 7 college graduates in this area as a Temple graduate. How do you get those people to come and see what's here? Unless they happen to, if they're not coming, unless they happen to it on a TV or something, they don't know what an absolutely great opportunity is to come support Temple, take your kids to a game that's inexpensive and safe and fun. So I think having these big-time teams come in, it draws more people, and then you have more people going back saying, hey, that Temple team, that's a good team. It's a great value. It's a great afternoon. And then hopefully we can continue to build our brand along with the pro teams that are here.
You've seen the rivalry from both sides. How do you think that Penn State views this game, and how do you think that Temple views this game?
I don't know how their team views it. I would like to think that I certainly know that obviously the coaches I would assume would respect us. I know over the years at Penn State, I've always heard from their players they knew when they played Temple it was going to be a physical game. So I'm sure that they're especially being the first game of the year, their attention is on us. I know Coach Frankel would never let his team look ahead to the Michigan States and Ohio States of the world. I'm sure they're focused on the next thing at hand. And I think on our side, we probably put a little bit too much on the game. You know what I mean? So we're just trying to get our guys to just focus on ourselves, what we can control, and we can't control how good Christian Hackenberg is. We can't control how good Zettel is and all those great players that they have. But we can control how we play and how we prepare. So we're trying to take that approach as opposed to getting caught up in the the hoopla and the grandeur of the game, and hoping that by focusing on ourselves, we can play as well as we can play.
Thank you very much, Matt. Best of luck.
Yes, sir.
And from 4th and goal, we have Blase Collin. Please go ahead.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good, thank you. I'm excited to come to the game this Saturday. So my question is, last year Temple and Penn State had a pretty similar look, very great defense and somewhat struggling offense. So this year you have all the 11 starters back on defense, and Penn State D should also be pretty solid. So I'm wondering what type of game you expect this Saturday, and do you have a specific anti-Hackenberg plan? And also, I was wondering if you could assess PJ's improvement over the spring and summer.
Yeah, well, I think looking back to last year, first of all, I'll say that Coach Shoup and the defensive staff, Coach Spencer, Terry Smith, who worked here, Coach Pry, I mean, they were outstanding on defense, not just good, outstanding on defense last year. I mean, just watching the Ohio State game, I think it was on TV the other night. I mean, they are really, really good on defense. They have a defensive line as good as anybody in the country. The 2 inside guys, Johnson and Zettel, I love. I mean, I think they're outstanding active linebackers. The secondary, the guys that return are really good players. So, I mean, that was a top 5, top 10 defense, and I'm sure that in their mind, in their eyes, their development, I'm sure they're going to be even better this year. So we have to find a way to manufacture some things against them. We really struggled to do that last year. Defensively for us, we kind of got pushed around by them last year. They out-physicaled us. They ran the football. I think it's 258 yards rushing. So we got some turnovers and were able to hold the score down early, but we weren't able to stop the run. We weren't able to, go out there and hang with them from a physical perspective. So, that has to happen for us to have a chance. We have to be able to stop the run. So, as good as Christian is, we know how good he is. He's, smart, accurate, goes the right place with the football, got great pocket awareness. We have to stop the run first, and then hopefully have a chance to stop him. His great receivers, the tight end Carter. They've got a lot of really good players. And then with regards to PJ, this spring into the fall, I think he's played really well. I think he knows where to go with the football. It's been in games when it's been those sort of trying to make a play and something goes wrong type errors that have plagued him. Because other than that, he's played pretty well. So we'll have to wait and see in the game if he's going to settle down and play his game or if he's going to try to do a little too much. We're expecting, and I'm very confident that he's going to go play his game and play a really, really good game. I couldn't be happier with his development so far this camp.
Well, thank you, and see you on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Coach, we thank you for your time this morning. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
All right, thanks, Ed.